Hey guys, Jason Bainey here in the gun room, and today we are going to show you the new Vortex Razor Gen 3 6-36. Alright, so as I mentioned, this is the newest addition to the Razor Gen 3 family. So this has been long awaited. People have been begging for one of these for quite some time. The Razor Gen 2 has been massively popular. They're 4.5 to 27. As you can see, it looks very similar, but they've done some pretty serious changes to the turret and jammed a lot of features into this scope. So with the Gen 3, they also added a new reticle. So there's going to be a couple versions for now, the MOA and the MIL version, and it is the EBR 7D. First focal plane, same stealth shadow color, similar parallax, similar illumination. The turrets are quite a bit different though, so we'll get into that in a minute. Parallax goes down to 10 yards. And again, it's a 6-36 by 56. Lots of travel. The spec on this is 36 mils of elevation. So there's not a whole lot you can't do with that. So again, 6-36 power, 56 objective, 34 millimeter tube. Overall weight, they actually dropped weight from the Razor Gen 2. That was one of the biggest complaints on that scope because it was a solid 3 pounds. So you could always use it as a boat anchor if you lost yours. But they are actually 45 ounces on this guy. It's about 15 inches long, just a little over 15, so it's a little bit longer. But they crammed a lot of features into this scope. So these should actually be available very, very soon. By the time you see this video, they should actually be ready to ship. Street price will be just under $3K. So again, I mentioned this was a pretty special turret. This is one of the biggest developments for this scope. And it's the Ltch Plus Zero Stop with a micro adjust dial. So they've retained the ability to set your zero in between clicks, so you're not going either side of the center. So you have the similar vernier up top here, but instead of perpendicular grub screws to grab onto the stem like just about every other scope on the planet uses, they've actually got a split ring in here and a tangentially aligned screw. So that screw, when you tighten it, is clamping the collar around the stem instead of burrowing into it. So one screw, you only have to loosen one screw, set your zero. You can use this handy little tool that comes with it, or just your fingers. It's not that hard to turn. So once you get your zero set, you lock that and you're ready to go. And these are locking turrets as well, so in the down position we are locked, and then lift it and you can dial. I will tell you, after taking this out to the range a bit, the clicks feel and sound kind of unlike anything else. Also, a lot of higher power scopes will tend to kind of fuzz out at the top. This one held resolution all the way to the top. I was not disappointed. Haven't put a whole lot of time on it yet, but I did test it at full power into my dark woods, looking for impacts in the dirt and on steel, and the resolution stuck with it very well. I was pretty impressed. So while we couldn't do a proper unboxing because this wasn't exactly a production box when I got it, basically you'll receive this tool that lets you loosen the turrets, adjust your zero, take out the battery cap. That's a pretty handy one to keep around. Also, that appears to be about the size of a quarter or a nickel, so easy to turn. You will get the Defender caps and of course the sunshade, along with their power throw lever. So all of that will be in the box when you get the scope. So now that we've kind of showed you everything about this scope and the features, we were able to get outside in between the rain storms. Unfortunately, the temperature dropped to the 20s, so it was a bit cold and dreary, but that's Pennsylvania in the winter for you. So we have a brief video of me shooting this at 200 yards on this beast of a 22, the Tikka T1X. And I have a trigger cam mounted on here. And you're going to see a couple 10-shot strings. Hopefully we'll see how that video pans out. So it was very dark out, near sunset and very overcast, shooting into the woods. And the trigger cam was not picking up a whole lot of brightness because of that, and we've had that issue with other scopes. So it's not related to the scope. So we will have one video at 15x and one around 25, and we'll see how those show up here. And basically it's just a 10-shot string of the 22, so you can see the reticle. Hopefully you can catch the bullet in flight, see the impact, hear the impact, but at least you'll be able to experience the reticle a little bit and a little bit of real world conditions. All right, now we're going to see if I can get all 10 on the plate. 10 for 10. Wind's picking up. First one was off the right edge, so I just dialed to it, and next one was pretty much dead center, so I just decided to run them. I guess with the wind today, we're probably not going to go 10 for 10. All right, so on the 15x video, you see the wind was a little tricky when we were zeroing in, and you'll see the first round was off, and I adjusted, ran the rest, and hit them all. So we were able to just squeak that in before it got too dark to really do anything. And hopefully that does you some good, seeing it from the point of view through the scope, so you can at least see how the reticle looks in real life. So as I mentioned, the trigger cam was getting a little dark with the higher power, and with these higher power scopes, doesn't matter whether it's 35 or an 80 or a 60. What I've seen over the years is anything above 25, you can really start to see it get dark. So the better scopes will maintain a resolution, but the light will start to fade. So that's a given. Don't be surprised. That's just the way it is when you're trying to get tons of performance through something that's a meaningful size to put on a rifle. Speaking of meaningful size to put on the rifle, might not be quite appropriate for this Tikka T1X22, but we're taking Bubba out to stretch his legs and figured we might as well give him the Vortex to try out as well. All right, thanks for watching, and if you like this video today, give us a thumbs up, a like, and subscribe if you would. That helps us out. We need all the subscribers we can get. Also, there will be links to purchase in the description below. That helps us out as well. If you would prefer to chat, you can give me a call on the phone. That info will be at the links. And hopefully we'll have some more videos on this scope, along with a whole lot of other stuff planned here in the next few months. All right, so what we're showing you here is the Vortex 6-36x56 Razor HD Gen 3. This is a mill version, you'll see by the 0.1 MRAD there, and the nice 10s, 1s and 10s all the way around. So what Vortex did with this scope is a brand new turret, unlike anything else out there, and it is called the Ltch Plus Zero Stop System with micro adjusted dial, which would be that part. So what that does is allow you to fine tune your zero in between clicks. So on an MRAD scope, the clicks are about 1/3 of an inch at 100 yards. Basically, if you've got a group that, or a rifle that can shoot very tiny groups, you can actually see a difference where you're clicking from side to side of center when you're trying to zero. So what this does will let you go in between clicks, basically. And it is the only system like it that I'm aware of, is the one that Vortex has done, and they took their current system and actually improved it. So basically, to start out, you will use this little handy tool that they include to loosen this set screw. And you'll notice the set screw is offset. And the reason for that is because there's a split ring type deal around here, and this screw travels tangentially to the turret. So it is pinching that collar onto the stem, as opposed to the normal convention of just about every other scope on the planet, where you've got little grub screws going around, indenting and grabbing onto the stem. So again, this is a locking turret, so you have to lift to turn. So, however, when you're zeroing the gun, you don't lift and turn. So now that we've loosened that, spinning this is how we do the fine tune on the zero. So I actually have this gun zeroed, so I'm going to try and turn it and put it back to where it was. So you can just turn it with your finger. You can also use this handy little tool to turn it, and basically that lets you get a fine-tuned zero in between clicks. So that is how you zero the scope. Dialing the turret is not how you zero the scope. So again, we loosened this, and then you use the center micro adjust dial to actually bring your shots to zero. Then once you're there, you can lock this back up. And now you dial the turret like normal. And you'll see on this scope there's 10 mils per rev, so the MOA version will have either 25 or 35. I'm not sure because the one I have is mil. So again, that was the Ltch Plus Zero Stop system, and hopefully that helps the new Razor Gen 3 owners out there, and they'll be able to set their zero right away.